Alrighty, winnowing my backlog a little bit. Now, I've kind of been jumping around for the order of my backlog that I've been reviewing, mostly so I don't do a huge slew of Batman-related properties all at once, at least spacing them out. But this is one that I actually just watched last night. And yeah, okay. It's been on kind of my radar for a while, just because I like Elvira. So, Elvira's Haunted Hills. 2001, pretty much self-funded, I think it was through auction and Kickstarter. Well, maybe not Kickstarter, but it was, they raised a lot of funds themselves when they couldn't get big billing. So, definitely a bit of a lower budget film, but it's still an Elvira flick, and which means it's at least somewhat entertaining. So this one I found just okay. The Elvira Mistress to the Dark movie that I saw before was fun. It was really good, and her TV series, she's always entertaining. And this movie, it's only okay. Now, I will say, Cassandra Peterson playing Elvira is still top notch. She's perfect in the role. She herself is still really funny and entertaining. But sometimes in this one, like, her rejoinders just didn't land as hard as they did in Mistress of the Dark. But that's a small nitpick there. The main problem with this one mostly comes from the story. Now, this one's set in the 1800s for some reason, and they just kind of arbitrarily her and her maid Zuzu, which they don't really explain why she suddenly has a maid, but okay, here we go. I'm on board with it. They're trying to get French for her French review. France for her French review. Yeah. And due to having to run out of an innkeeper after not having the funds to pay him, they get offered a lift by a carriage with a smooth-talking doctor who takes them towards Castle Helsebas to spend the night before giving them a ride further on. And at Castle Helsebas, where the Helsebas curse makes everyone weird as hell, they have to they discover that the dead wife of the lord of the castle is a spitting image for Elvira. They think that she's come back to get revenge, and away shenanigans go. Now, this one's deliberately parodying like Roger Corman or Vincent Price, Edgar Allan Poe. It's kind of that sort of vibe, and they do a decent job with that, but it's only so engaging, I found. It pretty much becomes a madcap run around a possibly haunted, possibly just weird castle. And some of the characters are eccentric as heck, but they don't land as hard as they should. Roxana, the young sick girl who they offer to take with them, is interesting, but they only do so much with her. And Lord Helsebas is neurotic as hell. And they do a lot more with him, but... And the stable hunk is pretty much a one-note joke with his dubbing not matching. So, the movie's trying. It's trying hard. Maybe too hard. It just feels a little more forced, I guess, in this one. I mean, the acting is fine for what they're trying to do. And the musical score is still very Elvira. I also say I will notice a lot of more sound effects in this one. It definitely went a lot more zany. They brought out the whole cartoon sound effects, though maybe it was a bit much for whenever Elvira accidentally gets groped. They made like balloon sound effects, which I don't know if that was too much or just enough, but it was something that I noted. It was entertaining enough, but overall, I don't think I'd watch this one again. It's okay, but if I'm going to watch an Elvira flick, I'm going to stick with Elvira Mistress of the Dark, which really her being the fish out of water in a more modern setting worked. Of her not fitting in and not caring to. And just everyone else having to deal with her. This one, it just felt like everyone's reacting to Elvira as just for the resemblance to the dead wife, and then for that, everyone's completely fine with her. Well, for the most part. And then towards the end, it gets really convoluted for... It didn't help that I was watching this around 3, 4 in the morning, so I admit it may not have been holding my attention the greatest, so I was dozing a bit. So of what's really going on and who's betraying who, and they throw it all out there with a Cask of Amontillado and hitting the pendulum references, but... And everyone's betraying everyone. It definitely lets it all out. I'll give it a 4 MacGuffins. It's fine. A little bit below average. I was hoping for more from Elvira, but it's not terrible by any means. It'll hold your attention for one viewing, but I wouldn't come back to it. Mistress of the Dark, I'd probably watch it again every once in a while. This one, no, maybe not. Maybe just for once in a great while, just because Elvira is still a lot of fun, and she is fun in this movie too. So, yeah, Elvira's Haunted Hills, 4